Let's talk about another receiver, Jordy Nelson. He's going up against a Minnesota defense that we saw earlier in the year certainly shut down some elite wide receivers around the NFL, and he has been an elite wide receiver since week 8. There's also going to be some weather conditions at play here. What's your call regarding Jordy?
I still want to use him. It's a case where I probably back away in DFS. Xavier Rhodes is one of the best cover corners in the NFL, so I think we will see Rhodes match up on Jordy Nelson quite a bit. The other thing that works against Nelson, I think, is the Packers have been spreading the ball around very effectively. If you think back to last week's game against the Bears, take away that long 60-yard catch that put Mason Crosby in position for the game-winning field goal. Nelson was having a pretty quiet game and a nice spot against the Bears, in large part because weather conditions were not optimal for throwing the ball last week. We also saw Devontae Adams drop a couple TDs in the end zone too. So you have a guy like Adams taking away red zone targets. Jared Cook is more involved overall. So as much as I like Nelson, I think I'd like him in season long just fine, but I really don't want anything to do with him in DFS.
Sammy Watkins really struggled against the Browns last week, and if you ended up surviving your matchup with him in your lineup, you really pulled out a miracle there. If you end up, having him though in your lineup, is he a good viable option against the Dolphins, or you put him on the bench?
I think I'd sit Sammy Watkins down. I mean, he's played 40 or more snaps in 3 consecutive weeks, but just one catch against the Browns. I know Joe Hayden has a pretty good reputation as one of the league's better corners, but the Browns have been getting torched by top receivers all season long. I think with Tyrod, he needs Sammy Watkins out there to be a competent top 10, top 12 fantasy quarterback every single week. At the same time, the Bills have a little incentive right now to push Watkins if his foot's still giving him trouble. He's not going through full weeks of practice. Very pessimistic. I think I'd be surprised if he caught more than 4 passes this week. So he has to break off a really long play to actually be useful as a number 3 receiver in championship week.